Yes, good old TJ.
Konnichiwa. Got back in the video. In today's video, we are back on that Who Can Beat Gilgamesh video. This is part 4. We are starting back off at 54 minutes and 40 seconds. We're almost there. We're almost halfway through the video now. It's like another hour and 41 minutes to this whole video is actually done. So we probably still got like roughly probably like another. We're part 4 right now. I'll say we probably got like another 6 parts and then we'll be done. So about like 10 to probably 12 parts and then we'll be done with this video. So yeah, guys. So just like I said, it's part 4. We're starting off at 54 minutes and 40 seconds. The last one they were talking about was what's that person's name? Karna. That's it. Yeah. Last servant we was looking at was Karna. So now we're going to go on to the next 2 servants that they're going to talk about. So I'm not even like dilly that with the intro. Like, subscribe on the video, follow the Twitch page, everything like that. And without further ado, man, let's get right into this because it's going to be a long video, I'm pretty sure. So play.
Pathetic.
Karna can. I'm sorry, now I'm just thinking of the scene from Dragon Ball Z, the first episode where Raditz just looks at the farmer and he's like, what is this power level? So insignificant. That's Karna and Gil.
Actually, I was thinking more of
What is
when
this?
Frieza comes back after Goku defeats him in
But
Super
Raz,
Saiyan,
what
he
is
comes
like,
back to
man,
Earth
what is
and
this?
Trunks appears and he reads his power level and it's like a power level of 5 and he's like, whatever, and then Trunks whoops his ass.
Yeah, because he was able to condense his energy level.
I think that would be a pretty apt comparison. I'd say, yeah, I think Karna might actually have a really fair chance of beating Gil.
A lot of people have probably, said that already. They've probably been yelling it at the screen for the last, 5-10 minutes we've been going on about Karna. But yeah, no, Karna is probably one of the best-suited characters to fight Gil, both in terms of ability
I think I might
and
upload
just
this later in the week.
personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, hey, remember, in FGO, class triangles, who beats archers? Lancers do.
Fair enough. Alright, but then moving on, here's probably, okay, if not compared by power level, certainly by character, this man needs to be mentioned. Ozymandias, Ramses II. This guy, basically, a lot of people will consider a much nicer Gil, even though he's also kind of an asshole. Does he stand a chance? Now, he does have a much weirder
smidge. He's just a
phantasm,
smidge.
and he is a rider, so things are gonna get kind of weird from here on out.
So he's a
Go ahead,
rider?
Take it away.
If you look at his parameters, Oz isn't super impressive for a lot of them. He's got a
Oh, that's trash.
endurance of C, agility B, luck A+, power phantasm X, very good quality riding A+, which might actually come up because this might turn into a vehicle fight.
Okay,
Resistance is
yeah.
a B-rank divinity.
But they say he was a rider, so it makes sense why his strength and stuff
Imperial
isn't good.
Privilege A, which is another very important point because Imperial Privileges is one of those potential game changers. Person we seriously consider with Imperial Privilege because of his other abilities, like, listen, we can talk about how great Nero is, but I don't think
Protect of the
she
sun
should
god.
have in her back pocket a little get Gil.
No. I'm sorry, guys, but spoiler, I really don't think Nero would beat Gil. Couldn't even beat Kualter.
Ooh.
She's only a saber because she said she wanted to be a saber.
Yeah.
Have a technical discussion maybe if Caster Nero, the summer version, could shoot enough beams, but that's very flexible honorable mention because summer servants are very gag heavy.
Right.
So it's very hard to actually consider them. As first, there's the reason why he's a rider. The Mesquite A, that is Ra's sun boat that sails across the sky every day with the sun, and also it shoots sun lasers.
Oh, sun lasers! Wow.
And he
Okay.
has, as a noble phantasm, the Sphinx of Abu El Hol A, as unlimited divine beast level sphinxes, so the highest class of phantasmal beast. They can just show up and fuck your shit. They are technically immortal creatures.
Hey,
Hey,
hey. Why you had to say it like that though?
EX.
Why you had to say it like that
Reality
though?
marble effect.
That was
Basically,
funny.
all those temples and stuff he built, he can just summon them. So first of all, Ramesseum Tentris has their Noble Phantasm ranks
Freaking
reduced,
allergies.
possibly even sealed if they are not divine, but Gilgamesh is. They are basically constantly poisoned, have any kind of resistance or like high magic resistance or inherent poison resistance effect. They are basically slowly losing their energy and possibly dying. In the Ramesseum Tentris, he is super indestructible. If he feels like it, he has a couple of special attacks. He has the Dendera Bulb, which basically he can shoot a giant electro laser, which in fragments I think is described as being able to like blow up Tokyo. Tokyo anyway with Mesquite, but the Dendera Bulb.
A
would
laser that
just
can
take
blow up
the city
Tokyo
in one
like
go.
that?
Or
Easy?
if he feels like it, as seen in FGO, he can just fly a pyramid into you.
Fly a
He has the
pyramid.
ego to match Gil. This would be a very interesting fight, because Gil has lots of noble phantasms to throw at this problem, including his ancient Indian spaceship.
So I do want to note that it has been canonically noted that surprisingly, Gil and Ozzy get along fabulously.
Well, that's no surprise.
Yeah, because they do have very similar personalities, are very ignorant, very high pride. But Ozymandias is definitely the more approachable. He has a different idea of what being a king is than Gil, because Gil was literally, fuck off, I'm gonna do what I want as king.
Ramesses the Great was very much a field king,
Yeah.
because
gonna
he
do whatever I want.
very ass, and he built a lot of fucking temples, and he died when he was like in his 80s. I think,
That's
from
funny.
like records. So he was large and in charge for a very long time, and that kind of carries over, I think, into his personality and even his abilities as a servant. So
Right off the bat, you said like the Sphinx of Abba Ahoy. He says infant. Like, how many Sphinxes does he have? One guy.
I think he has as many as he wants. If it's even if it's just one, it's basically an infinite regenerating creature. He
Well,
can keep him coming.
Yeah. So there's one way to tank frickin' Gate of Babylon.
Wow.
That's true.
Now that's interesting.
He also, like we said, Mesquite shoots crazy high space sun lasers,
let's
enough
see
to
what-
like level a city. So this would very quickly probably turn into some kind of
So
flying
this
battle.
dude is
of
really, really
Infinite Zero.
powerful. Like,
Yeah.
Only, quite frankly,
Romney
I'm
is
pretty
the
sure
second.
Oz has the advantage
Crazy.
over even Big Boy, but the Jets man.
Yeah. What was Gil's? Hang on. What was Gil's mana? Real quick. Let me check that again. B. So Ozzy has higher mana than Gil, so that means he could probably like shooting fucking lasers and whatnot, or the output. He might be able to last longer.
But at the same time, it would be fair to say he'd be using more mana, because if we're going back to what we said before about how casually he can just cast Gate of Babylon, it might not be much for Gil to fire Gate of Babylon longer than Ozzy can fire off whatever he's firing off. Which is many things, yes, but that's the point.
Let's see. I guess it depends, because I know like let's see here. Because he'll also have the Sphinx. I don't know like how much mana those would take and how much they could tank before you know.
It's a divine beast, so I think once it's summoned, it's self-perpetuating.
Yeah. So. Oh man, this
And,
might be. Honestly, this might
Gil,
be enough for
remember, Gil does have an unlimited tool set.
Oh,
so
we just
probably has
broke
an anti-Sphinx thing
hour
somewhere
into the
in
video
back. He
now.
just has to go
Hour
check the
one
back room, you know?
into the video where we're at.
I don't know. Can you check it with? Can you check it with fucking sun lasers?
No.
Hmm.
The thing I think this would come down to though is actually once again if it got anywhere close to close combat, because at least as a servant, Ozymandias is not really equipped for that. Technically, he should be able to look after himself with like a khopesh or a bow or something. He also militarily, a lot of the nobility in Egypt fought from the back of chariots. That's why he's a rider.
Mm-hmm.
Sunboat to utilize. But I think ultimately where this would end up is it would be he would probably have to use Ramesseum Tentris in some form. And then it comes
Mesium
down to, well, does Gil respect this guy enough to use Enema Elish? And the answer is probably.
I was about to say, I really, from everything you guys were just describing, I'm like, this might, out of the ones we've just listed so far up to this point, this might be the fight where he's the quickest to pull out Aya.
Yeah, as I said, like, because remember, his temples they're
You
technically
gonna pull it
a
off
reality marble. if
off
I'm remembering correctly.
Rippington.
Yes.
Yeah, so that means
Off
like, Aya
Rippington.
would be the go-to.
Like, I'm not gonna play no games. This dude seems like he's
And-
about the real deal.
However, this is very important because this
By
is
giving
always
this
a
work.
great debate. as Omega pointed out, it does, essentially nullify or negate all noble phantasms? Is that correct?
It can reduce the strength, if not seal, unless they're divine. But if I remember that correctly, that means they have to be inside the temple.
Right.
So
That
I
too.
don't know. Are they
As a
starting
quote-unquote a curse of the gods, which prevents enemies from activating noble phantasms by sealing them, said that individuals with strong ties to divine spirits or themselves are divine spirits are unaffected. So Gil would probably be able to beat this.
Yeah.
Right.
It
And-
also says that noble phantasms that were once property of a divine spirit, which would include Ea because it is a divine construct.
Right. And as Omega did point out before this stream,
Interesting.
he's already beaten a reality marble once with Ea, quite swiftly.
Yeah.
This would I feel like while this would probably be a lot flashier than the Iskandar Gil fight, this would probably end up about the same way. Gil would get to the end and he'd be like, "Okay, Ozymandias is pretty cool. I'm gonna show him the real thing." And unfortunately, then it would probably be over.
Ozymandias.
Right.
Yeah, as I said, like,
Dendera Lightbulb and stuff are very strong, but Enema Elish is very strong.
Enema Elish is basically the delete button.
yeah, as I said, like, Gilgamesh definitely has a special place in this.
He says
other
basically the
games.
delete button.
Right. Especially anyone he feels could match him at all in power. And I think he would see right away from Ozzy. Anything Ozzy puts out, I think he just immediately would be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should." Yeah, as Omega pointed out, maybe I should show him the real thing.
I said, no, they have a flashy as fuck fight though.
Oh yeah.
It'd be entertaining.
Heck, Gil would probably like humor Ozzy for a while with like Gate of Babylon and Enkidu and stuff because he would be probably having a good time with him.
Yeah.
He'd have some fun, but when it got down to the, okay, well, if I don't do something, he is gonna summon his temple and he's gonna shoot ancient Egyptian laser beams at me, and
Right.
then this would be done. So, as fun as this is, I'm not gonna lose. That would be
Right.
stupid.
Nah. Gil loves a
Again,
good
once again,
fight.
that's basically how he gets Iskandar is, ooh, this is a real fun fight, bub. But if I let you keep going, you are actually gonna stab me. So I'm Gilgamesh. That can't happen.
Because I mean, if Gil is anything, he's certainly arrogant to a fault, but he is not dumb.
He is quite smart, and as we said before, he would sense his power, his true name, and realize how much of a risk this guy is, and he'd be like, "Okay, we can have some fun." But like I said, he has shown in desperate moments he will try and pull out A if he realizes, oh, this guy's gonna get
He said we got some fun.
Real,
the ability to have a fair fight first would certainly he would escalate, and then it would be done so.
real talk, Ozymandias would probably name himself first thing.
Of course. Of course.
Look up on my works ye mighty and despair.
There'd be much. I'm sorry. I can only imagine how much laughing there would be going on. Like,
Great laughs.
Oh god.
much laugh.
Be a battle of the laughter first. Alright, so I think it's pretty safe to say that I will go with the summary that we can pretty much agree this would probably be the quickest. They would have some fun, but this would probably be the quickest so far to reach Ea level, and then Ozzy basically has no chance. So
I don't know. It honestly depends on how
Oh,
long.
why am I yawning?
Depends on how long Gil wants to have fun.
it depends, I think, if Gil makes a mistake, basically.
This is all, as always, is our great caveat. Even when he uses his best tools, he's not necessarily going all out. So, error. We don't want to sound like we're downplaying Ozymandias.
Because
but
actually,
we know from comparing what
Right.
their different noble phantasms and stuff do. We kind of know how that mechanically kind of works out, right?
Yeah.
I do think actually Gil has room to be arrogant in this fight though, because Ozzy is equally arrogant. So they would both like not start out.
So it's gonna be arrogance on arrogance. So basically, it's
Even
like
if they
who's the
knew who each
less
other were,
arrogant,
it wouldn't
I
matter.
guess.
They'd just be playing with each other for
To
a
win?
while.
It's like,
Just-
no, I'm not at full
That's
power.
how
Are you
that'll
at
be.
full power? You at full power?
Yeah, actually, no, it'd probably be a competition to see who would go full power first. It'd be a game of chicken between them.
Yet, are you at 100%? No.
In fact, I'm not even at 50% yet. Well, neither am I.
Yeah, some little kids are,
Reverse Frieza.
are you trying? Oh no, I'm not trying. Are you trying? No, I'm not trying. Yeah, you trying? Are you trying? Are you trying? Are you trying?
No, man, I could take it at 30%. So anyway,
We bend one knee. and other great shonen anime lines.
So as funny as this fight would probably be, I think it's safe to say we should move on to actually probably one of the colder fights versus Altera. This is a really interesting matchup. I did not suggest this one myself, but I know you guys did. So
Altera.
So we're working
Okay.
through, well, right now on our channel we're working through a Let's Play of Fate Extella. So this is pretty relevant. I've been thinking about this. So Altera as a saber has Strength of A, Endurance of A, Agility A, Mana B, Luck A, Noble Phantasm A+, Skills she's got Riding A, Magic Resistance B, and Divinity B.
Well, that's like
She's
strength
got
B
military
then if
attack
it's supposed to
B,
be A.
Natural Body D, Crest of the Star EX, and Familiar Creation EX, a pseudo mana burst ability. She basically physically has this crest on her body, which she can move energy through to fight stronger. And so we got one Noble Phantasm, but it's got a couple of different uses. You might also see this with some other characters who aren't on this list, like
Photon Ray and
Mordred has
Teardrop
both the
Photon
Sword
Ray.
Clarent and then
Interesting.
Clarent Blood Arthur, where she shoots hate.
Natural body D. That's trash though.
Similar, there's the Sword Photon Ray, which is ranked A, which is her Rainbow Sword, which, you know, she uses to do lots of really cool things because she's in basically a Dynasty Warriors type game. It's quote-unquote real form, the Teardrop
Seen the
Photon
base
Ray,
scene of
where
Dynasty
she
Warriors.
reveals that
Hey,
the sword is actually
Hey, Dynasty
laser
Warriors is that game though,
to
even though it gets
Mars,
repetitive
and,
after a bit.
Mars shoots Martian laser beams from
Muso.
space. Teardrop Photon Ray is described as an anti-fortress Noble Phantasm, like Excalibur can be. It is a giant blast of Mars's power, which technically is aimed at Altera because Mars and Altera don't get along, but she just uses her energy to make it miss a little bit. Now, Altera is very interesting to discuss because technically there are a couple different Alteras. The actual historical
Just A
Altera
riding though,
as
that's
Attila
interesting.
the Hun
As a
technically
saber, that's
could
pretty good.
beat Gil, but at the very least, the Altera, the quote-unquote real Altera, the one who is from the moon cell and plugged into herself as, you know, a Velber and against civilization, she could probably give Gil a fair run. Still a story, if you play the Altera route, there is a fight with Gil where they do fight, and technically Gil works under Altera.
It's specifically because of a debt Altera like did for Gil's.
Really? He works underneath her?
Like Altera saved his
It's some
father's
weird-
life.
Cosmic. Yeah. Because Altera is technically the actual purple figure. There's cave paintings of a white giant called Safar, and that's what Altera originally is, and then Attila the Hun is like the backup drive of that thing. It's really confusing and alien and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So does she have the power to match Gil? Well, for starters, obviously, look at that, you know, Strength B, Endurance A, Agility A. She's got him dead to rights in close quarters, I think, like a lot of characters do.
Right.
It is a deadly weapon. And she is said to grow stronger attacking civilization. Kind of our oldest known hero, and he's a king with a city and everything.
I mean,
real dangerous. And
like,
then of course,
So she
Teardrop
does
Photon
more
Ray,
destruction to a society. She grows stronger.
You know, it's a huge orbital strike.
what it is?
Basically. It's like a satellite laser.
like saying anti-civilizations, like honestly, I would consider the Gate of Babylon like super civilization because it's filled with created works.
I was about to say, yeah, that's a really solid point against Gil.
Yeah.
Also, another thing to point out is that if she is
Wow,
a
so that means
type
she's gonna get
Altera,
real
she has
strong
the
then.
Your Creation EX, she can create these anti-civilization cities, like create familiars and other constructs, which would probably not seriously slow down Gil, but it would at least act as theoretical bullet sponges.
Right. They could
Question is,
they could tank the Gate of Babylon for.
Does Gil realize that Altera is gonna get him in enough time? Because once again, Teardrop Photon Ray is good if she catches Gil with his pants down with it, but I'm pretty sure once again Aya's Animate Elish Blast would come out on top if it came to that.
Right.
I'm noticing a lot of times it's Gil. It's not so much as Gil is the strongest. He just has literally
makes
a
sense.
trump card that beats all trump cards.
Pretty much, it is kind of the strongest Noble Phantasm available.
Yeah, and just because he wields it makes him the strongest servant.
It's the
Right.
ultimate.
So it's not
And
so
the
much that Gil
ultimate trump
himself
card.
is the strongest servant, even though he has a lot of reasons to be revered. It comes down to Aya, like every single time.
Well, and yeah, and once
But
again,
he just got that.
there's a future bullet point.
Yeah,
about
he got that
anomalies and
one
honorable
thing
mention
in
about a
Aya
certain
that's
character
literally
that
just
everybody
the
is-
ultimate. It's the trump
is
card of all
either
trump
very
cards,
upset who
basically.
beat Gil or cheered because Gil's an asshole and he deserves to lose sometimes.
Which is like
The perfect
absurd.
lesson in humility.
A very important point about why that fight goes that way is that a master necessarily of any of the weapons in Gate of Babylon, he has an immense toolkit. He's not the best at using any of them.
Right.
Not even be the best at using Aya because he doesn't use it to hit things usually. He can and has done so, but that's a pillar drill thing.
Like, even if you gave him Excalibur, say
Yeah.
he could actually get Excalibur, which I'm pretty sure he can't, based on what we've said earlier, because it's a divine construct, yeah.
Right.
But even if you gave him it, he probably would not be anywhere near as good with it as Artoria.
It'd be like a projection that it'd be a projection. It'd be like ranked down.
Right.
But also, there's another important point. The prototype of Excalibur existed before Gil because, once again, this isn't super spoilers for Extella because it's mentioned.
So
in some
Romney
but,
is, I think that's what it was, and
the White Titan I
Altera.
mentioned is defeated by the
I'm rewatching it
prototype
and see,
Excalibur, like
but that's
the
gonna probably be the
original
pinned comment
Sword of Promised Victory
on the video.
before it became a thing.
Perfect segue. But yeah, so once again, it comes down to Aya. Can he pull? Would he actually pull it out? I mean, Altera's pretty strong, especially as that moon cell form. Yeah.
But also, do remember we talked about how Gil has this kinship with kings. Altera is the king of destruction. So go into this with enough respect to be like, if she tries to shoot Martian laser beams at me, I might have to once again level. But like what we said with Oz, if she goes all out, I might have to go all out to catch up with her.
So I'm noticing a pattern here then. Basically, the more Gil respects you, the more you're boned.
Honestly, yeah.
This is, once again, we talked about his arrogance. It's the characters he underestimates who get closest.
The more
like,
you respect,
he doesn't act. He respects
the more you gonna be in
Excalibur.
the
He doesn't
dirt.
actually think Artoria's gonna
Being
get him.
that dirt.
He has Avalon. Yeah, he's dicking around until she takes the blast, and he's like, "Well, shit," and then he's got nothing. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, I feel like Arturo would try to fire a teardrop photon ray, and he would use that moment to fire Aya to match power versus power, and prove that he is indeed superior.
Oh, especially against a King of Destruction. Whoa, that's a title he'd want to claim.
Now, the question is, but until Altera tried to fire it, I don't know he could stop her. Altera would literally have to stop, I think, and try to do that, because with the familiar
She
creation,
is the scourge of God. She is, a force of nature, basically. Even without getting into the weird alien cosmic horror stuff. The way she is described
looks
is
intimidated.
scary.
So you think maybe Gil would be overwhelmed too quickly because he didn't pull out Aya quick enough?
maybe.
yeah,
Like, I'm
like,
trying. That's why I'm like, as I said, like with strength B, endurance A, and agility A, those three specifically, she would probably have the endurance to take a few hits. She could probably dodge most.
Most of all, is once again the range. Does she have the ability to, counteract Gate of Babylon long enough to get close?
Right.
She might. As a regular weapon, photon ray's pretty strong and flexible, and she's definitely got the stats to try. There are a couple of hypotheticals in this situation that would require clearing up to say for sure one way or the other. It would definitely be a bit like Oz probably. It would be another match to watch.
But, okay, so I'll end it with this then, this kind of conjecture. Basically, it seems like this would be the opponent that Gil would respect the most that has the best chance of beating him.
Yeah. Like,
All right,
with
so I'm
Ozzy,
gonna
pretty
pause
sure-
here. We're at an hour, 17 minutes, and 15 seconds in. All right, so we'll end off right there, guys. Who could be Gilgamesh? Featuring Studio Omega or StudiOmega. Like I said, we end off right there. Like, subscribe on the video, guys. Hit the bell notification. Make sure you click all so you know if I turn to make a future upload. Go follow the Twitch page, the Facebook page, everything else down below in the comments down below, description. Yeah, and that's gonna be all for me right there, guys. Like I said, this video's gonna be going on for a minute because doing 2 characters at a time. So most likely I'm gonna put the 2 pin I'm gonna start putting the two characters in the pinned comment down below, both their names, and we can just have a discussion about it in the comments. All right, guys. So this one should be going out probably what is it? Tuesday going on Wednesday. I say you probably getting this like on Friday, maybe Saturday. Expect it out around that time. All right, guys. So INCOG, I'm out. Peace.